Hello everyone, my name is Razin. This is the introduction video to my Zone of the Enders The Second Runner Mars Let's Play, which I'm recording with my friend Johnson. For those of you new around here, I like to make introduction videos like this for my Let's Plays, to provide some additional information that would be awkward to fit into the Let's Play itself. If you want to jump right into the gameplay, you can go ahead and skip ahead to episode 1 if you'd like. Zone of the Enders The Second Runner is a mecha action game originally released by Konami in 2003 for the PlayStation 2. It's the direct sequel to the 2001 game Zone of the Enders, which was a game that famously sold a large number of copies not because of its quality, but because it came bundled with a demo of Metal Gear Solid 2. Unfortunately, despite being a massive upgrade in terms of gameplay, The Second Runner received little attention from the general gaming audience and didn't sell particularly well. However, it managed to find a dedicated fanbase, and the game quickly became a cult classic of the PS2 generation. To this day, many consider The Second Runner to be one of the most exciting and fun action games ever made, and I would probably include myself in that category. Japan and PAL regions would later receive a special edition of the game which included some minor gameplay additions. Nearly a decade later in 2012, a remastered version of the special edition was released alongside a remaster of the first game, as part of the Zone of the Enders HD collection for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Unfortunately, the initial release of the collection was a technical disaster on both platforms, and the remastered versions of the game ran poorly. Konami would later hire Hexadrive to develop a patch to fix the HD version of The Second Runner, but sadly this patch was only ever made for the PS3 version of the HD collection, and the 360 version of The Second Runner still runs poorly to this day. That being said, the PS3 version of the game with the Hexadrive patch is quite good, and for a long time it was considered the definitive version of the game. Just recently, a 4K remaster with virtual reality support was released for the PlayStation 4 and PC, titled Zone of the Enders, The Second Runner Mars. Naturally, this version of the game is the one I've chosen to record for this Let's Play. Other than the virtual reality mode and enhanced visuals, there are a few more additions that have been made to the game, but I'll get into them during the Let's Play itself. Johnson and I will be playing our way through The Second Runner on hard mode, the hardest difficulty unlocked by default. In addition, I'll be showing you how to achieve the highest ranking in the game, Double S. Parallel to the main Let's Play, I'll also be recording a solo Let's Play of the virtual reality mode. These VR episodes will be a bit longer than normal, but will never move beyond where the main playthrough is with Johnson. Basically, a few episodes of the main playthrough will come out, and then a long VR episode covering the same part of the story will be out after. For the sake of organization and convenience, these VR episodes will be uploaded in the same playlist as the main playthrough, but will be clearly marked with a different thumbnail. After both of these playthroughs are completed, there will be a couple of bonus episodes to wrap up the Let's Play where Johnson and I will take a look at some of the game's bonus content. If you haven't already, I suggest checking out our Let's Play of the first Zone of the Enders game before watching this one. It isn't exactly necessary, but you'll definitely appreciate the Second Runner story more after experiencing the plot of the first game. Johnson and I also recorded a commentary podcast of the spin-off movie Zone of the Enders 2167, Idolo, which fills in some backstory for the first game and, by extension, the Second Runner as well. While it isn't vital by any means, it's only 50 minutes long, and both the sub and dub versions of the movie are extremely easy to find online. In my opinion, you might as well just take the time to watch it even if it isn't particularly good. Whether you want to watch it by yourself or watch it with the snarky commentary provided by Johnson and I is up to you. In terms of other Zone of the Enders media, there's also a Game Boy Advance strategy RPG titled The Fist of Mars and a TV anime series called Dolorous Eye. These both add a lot of world building to the Zone of the Enders setting, and also provide a bit more context to the events of the Second Runner. However, they're both much more of a time commitment to get through, and I have a hard time recommending them to people who aren't already Zone of the Enders fans. Personally, I'd say it's better to skip them for now, and maybe check them out later if you really need to scratch an itch for more Zone of the Enders content. In truth, most Zone of the Enders media is underwhelming quality-wise, and I say that as a big fan of the franchise. The Second Runner is truly a great game though, and if you have any interest in picking it up and playing it for yourself, I highly recommend you do so. A lot of the games I choose to Let's Play are ones that I personally like a lot, but others have a hard time playing through and would rather watch online instead. The Second Runner is not one of those games. I absolutely recommend playing through the game once yourself and then coming back to this Let's Play at a later date. There are plenty of secrets, strategies, and Easter eggs that the average player won't find on their first playthrough, so there's still a lot to gain by watching this series even after beating it yourself. Of course, even if you do plan on playing the game before watching the series, I still suggest watching our LP of the first game and the 2167 Idolo movie for story purposes. But now I'm just starting to repeat myself, so I think it's time I wrap this up. I'm going to end this introduction by showing the game's opening video, which is infamous for being incredibly long and spoiling almost the entirety of the story. If you care about spoilers, you may want to skip this, but it's personally one of my favorite game openings of all time, and I think it would be a shame if I didn't include it in this Let's Play in one way or another. Have a good night, and see you on Mars.
Since the dawn of history, human beings have realized various forms of energy. Civilizations have progressed with them. So where does such energy like Metatron lead our civilization?
Position for landing.
MR 1422, Dingo Egret, unlocked. 20 to touchdown.
That's unusual.
What is?
Indications of Metatron. It's way too shallow.
The Metatron is not very deep.
And it's very strong. It wasn't here last time I came. What the hell is that? An orbital frame. My liv is damaged. Damn Barum.
Barum from Mars? Dingo!
Good morning. Ready for combat? This is Detached Backup Battle Unit, Ada. Do you request control instructions?
But in the last half year, the situation on Mars has changed drastically. Now, Balram's war potential is very strong. The Space Force put up a stubborn resistance, but without a major war, Mars was occupied by Balram in a flash. Almon is already getting ready. Only those two machines can make Almon move or stop.
So you want this frame, don't you?
Maybe.
Even if you're Barum, that's too rough.
It sure is.
Who's the commander? Is that you, Viola?
ZoE is programmed to blow up at the core of Almon. In case of need, Ada will start up the explosion system automatically. It's programmed to do so.
Ada, please answer my question. You're going to Almon, aren't you?
So what if I am?
Do you know Ada intends to self-destruct ZoE on Almon?
Ada, please look after it. on this ship anyway.
If anything happens to my pals on Callisto, you'll pay.
I didn't kill them.
I don't believe you. I've been dead once already. I'll bring it to an end myself.
No!
Look, the perfect fusion of Metatron, the destruction to end all!
The machine supplements your heart and lungs. That power comes from Jehuti. You will die if you leave Jehuti.
The performance of these two bodies is even. But to match Anubis, Jehuti lacks one thing. A program to bring out the full performance of Jehuti. That depends on the skill of the runner.
Get out of my way!
Project Almon's purpose is not domination, destruction. He's here.
It is Anubis.
You must, even if I don't make it. Listen, please, be sure to stop Almon.
Anubis! Leo, wait! Almon chose me. The universe and human subconscious are willing their own end. Look, this is the will of Metatron.
Do you realize how many of my comrades died back there?
Dingo!
You are one of the units for Project Almon.
We're pals now, aren't we?
Battle over. Anubis wins.
You have come back under my command.
You have done well.